range, can I kick it? Yeah, don't ask me a thing, how I got her, how I did it. Yeah, spend the whole half, had a blast, can I kick it? Even with a sprain, pain, can I kick it? Just the flex, I went and bought a ain't been the same, things have changed, can I kick it? People acting different, so I ask, can I?
Hey, could count on my power, hey, look at my dogs from it was way back then, could claim what you saw, but you weren't with us. The higher the climb, the harder the fall, but how did you get up? I done got rich and went broke, then got rich again, just a little hiccup. I done been ballin' this pickup. Remember me being so bummy and being so hungry, I had to eat gristle. Ay, how did you let it go miss? Ay, how she was magic, she mixed. Met her at one of the functions, we caught her the rhythm, she caught up a friend, they kissed and we dipped it, and that's how we kicked it.
Let me explain what I did, can I kick it? Hold on, yeah, I got some rings and a range, can I kick it? Yeah, don't ask me a thing, how I got her, how I did it. Yeah, spend the whole half, had a blast, can I kick it? Even with a sprain, pain, can I kick it? Just the flex, I went and bought a chain, can I kick it? Things ain't been the same, things have changed, can I kick it? People acting different, so I asked, can I? Before I went live, they ain't know what I was. Ain't no one alive that could do what I does. Wait, need a light here just to catch my buzz. Need Sprite here just to catch my cup. Now they don't really talk about us. Now they don't really talk about love. Honestly, they ain't never seen too much. What's love to a guy with a bag? What's heart to a guy with some cash? What's pain to a guy that's mad? Said. What's broke to a guy with a mask? What's both to a guy with a plan? I just wanna kick it, that's all I ask. Like, let me explain what I did, can I kick it? Hold on, yeah, I got some rings and a range, can I kick it? Yeah.
Today, from the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans, it's Week 15 of the NFL on EA Sports.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick in the 2019 draft from Oklahoma. It's Kyler Murray.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
Oh, they go with a tight end carry. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Ball carrier.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
From the 27, Murray. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain there of 21 yards. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a
different story.
long night.
And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
Tackle made right at midfield.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
On the ground, this is Joe Mixon. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line.
Number 28, Joe Mixon.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And for the Saints here on third down, an extra defensive back on the field. Shotgun now for Murray. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Getting the sack to 227-pound linebacker Quan Alexander.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
And tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
On fourth down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away.
The Saints take over first and
It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14.
number 41.
The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. 18 carries, 55 yards, and a touchdown.
They've won 2 straight games. They have done it with the running game as the focal point of their offense. So in this contest, I don't think about doing anything else. I continue to ride the hot hand that I've established and lead with the runners.
On second down, Kamara. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. He's had his eyes on 7,000 career rushing yards, and with that last effort, he has hit that mark. What a career.
And that is the number to focus in on, because oftentimes we talk about where do they rank all time. We're not there yet. He's not knocking on the top 10 or the top 20, but over 7,000 yards in a career, fantastic.
Taken down.
It's also for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Taking it about the 36. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Mixon with a first down carry. The numbers for Mixon last week, 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power, we saw finesse, we saw speed, and what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
On second down, here's Mixon. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And he's going to take this all the way down to the Saints 11. A gain there of 30 big ones. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complementary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. That's complete right around the 8. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. Joe Mixon with touchdown number 12 on the year. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead.
It seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone.
Taking it about the 1. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Out comes the Saints offensive unit and the NFC playoff race. Let's have a look at it.
And it's right about this time of the year that you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
There certainly is, because we all know everyone is aiming for that #1 seed. But failing that, because only 2 teams in the NFL get a bye, 1 from each conference, that question becomes who's hot? Who's peaking at the right time as you start the playoffs?
They begin on the ground with Kamara. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Alvin Kamara.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll drop to throw. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. A.J. Epinesa. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
And that is incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they have to give up the football again after this one.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
It's a pickup of 3.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. On 2nd down, Mixon. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big time?
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. A free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble, because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Holding at the 24. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10.
The New Orleans offense set to take over.
And this is their third drive. Maybe the focus right now not so much on points, but getting their first down.
And when you start off a game, you don't even think that's an issue, do you? But you go a drive, a second drive, no first down, that becomes an issue. Now you got to think about, okay, what type of play calling do I have to do to get us in a spot to pick that first one up?
Kamara there with a first down carry, but not much running room, and he takes it forward for only a couple. It's second down.
22-yard line.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find the hole.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete.
Good for a save.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
The tackle made.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. The Saints on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. And that will be incomplete.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals.
2nd and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Looking to throw on second down. Murray. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. Powers ahead at the 45. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. First down, Murray. He finds his running back, Mixon.
Murray's pass.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
A gain of 15.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Now Murray. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get it out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
The average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
So that's it's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front seven? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30.
At their own 28-yard line.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team. You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
At the 42-yard line.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2.
1st and 10.
As they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Brings up 3rd down. And
here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. They'll look to throw again. And he comes back with one complete. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half.
1st and goal at the 9-yard line.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Again, he'll drop to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Incomplete in the end zone. Brings up 2nd and goal.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. So this is going to have to be a delay. That'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3.
Barons 10. Saints 3.
So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll get started up at Lincoln Financial Field in Philly. And it's the Bengals who are out in front as those two head towards the break. The Bengals trying to hold on and claim victory. From there, we head over to the Windy City. Check on the Bears at home, Soldier Field. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Lions. Allen Robinson, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get to the country music capital of the world and see what's happening with...
We now proceed to the start of the second half. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. Taken in at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
First and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up first and 10. Camaro with a carry there on first down as he works his way forward for a pickup of 4.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Out of the gun now on third down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Baker with a pick, and his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the third quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing. They're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
Number 28, Joe
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Mata brought him down. 4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
Once again, they run with Mixon. And good running, going to get this down close to a first at the Saints 41. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
And it's third down.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. That'll go as a 16-yard gain as they pick up the first. Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. Throwing on first down is Murray. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
It's now 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
To throw again, Murray. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete.
Murray's pass.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. From the gun, Murray. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10.
A gain of 5.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short. Blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
On 1st and 10, here's Murray. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That catch good for only a couple.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
And it's caught. Touchdown.
Murray's pass.
Michael Pittman with touchdown number 8 on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
And that's a drive that makes everyone happy on that bench because they accomplish exactly what they set out to do. Take care of the football, eat up a little clock, end up in the end zone. Now they've got a cushion for the rest of the game. So they didn't just help themselves offensively, they helped their defense out as well.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Saints take over first.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake at the line of scrimmage, got right into his route. And the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half. And that trend is continuing here.
The throw on the quick slant going to be complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver who has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Here's a first down throw. It's complete. A gain of 6 there on first.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the 4th quarter of play. Second and 4. Now they go screen. It's complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And I don't think Kamara got there. Looks like they stopped him short. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
It's 4th down.
This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the ball. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Left side, it's complete. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
But correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Saints have cut it back within a score. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
Yeah, he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
At their own 25.
And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there.
And as we take a look at the playoff picture, certainly still a lot of jostling to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
So much to play for. And remember, 7 teams in each conference go to the playoffs instead of 6. And not to mention, remember when the league made that move a few seasons ago to put divisional games at the end of the year? So you get to week 16 and 17, you're playing for playoff spots, and you're playing divisional games. Couldn't be more exciting than that.
Now this one was tight end out on the right side. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. And the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Murray. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. Extending the arm. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown! Joe Mixon with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive, and it seemed like they had maybe given up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed Old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
Now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Lose the guys up front, or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. He's picked off at his own 47. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Santos able to tack on the extra point. And the lead now to with 3 touchdowns at 21.
Santos set to kick off.
That'll be taken about a yard deep. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
And now the Saints get set to trot out there.
Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
After the pick six, they go right back to the air. He's going to have the hook up to Gage. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Back to throw now on first down. Throwing right, and that's complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
And they get 17 more on that one and another first down.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked up by Cameron Sutton. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. So it's our visitors with the football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
It's a first down on a gain of 10. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
At the 37-yard line.
So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory for our visitors. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one are thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that,